Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. B&B spoilers. Why Taylor's love for Ridge is a recipe for heartbreak. The bold and the beautiful B&B spoilers and updates reveal why Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, love for Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye is only a recipe for heartbreak. Taylor must put an end to her relationship with Ridge before things escalate further. History tends to repeat itself, and now it's Taylor who finds herself trapped in this tiring pattern once again. Ridge is trouble for Taylor, and honestly for any woman who gets involved with him, and it's high time we acknowledge that. Taylor has long fantasized about reigniting her romance with Ridge. Now, in a flash, Ridge has left Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, in tears and is now getting close to Taylor. It's a whirlwind romance filled with drama, but it's bound to fail. Why? Because Taylor, Rebecca Budig, is falling for Ridge's familiar games once again. Even though she's a smart and successful woman, her heart seems to overlook Ridge's massive ego. Time after time, Ridge has shown he can't put her first. He's the master of mixed messages, and Taylor deserves someone who is fully committed, not just a fallback option. Ridge is clearly in love with only one person, himself. He thrives on the excitement, the pursuit, and the rush of keeping two women in a constant state of uncertainty. When he's with Brooke, his thoughts drift to Taylor, and when he's with Taylor, Brooke occupies his mind. This isn't a case of a man torn between two loves. It's more like a revolving door of relationships. Taylor deserves a partner who loves her only, not just a temporary option. Ridge will offer her brief moments of joy, just enough to keep her interested, but the moment Brooke calls, he'll be off in a flash. The last time, when they both chose to walk away from Ridge, was a smart move. They prioritized themselves over his games. Ridge will take Brooke's recent betrayal as an excuse to rush into Taylor's arms. He'll charm her, bring the family back together, and make her think they are finally creating a future. As soon as Brooke makes a strong move to save Forrester Creations, Ridge will disappear and Taylor will be heartbroken again. This has to stop. Taylor deserves a man who truly values her, and Ridge is not that person. It's time for both Taylor and Brooke to cut ties with him for good. This love triangle has gone on long enough. They need to stand up to him and move on, once and for all. B&B spoilers. Why Taylor's love for Ridge is a recipe for heartbreak. In the ever-turbulent world of the bold and the beautiful, one love story stands as both a poignant narrative and an enduring symbol of unresolved passion. Taylor Hayes' love for Ridge Forrester. As fans know all too well, their love is a delicate balance of deep affection, bitter resentment, and inevitable heartbreak. Their relationship has weathered countless storms, and each time it seems to be on the verge of a fresh start, fate has a cruel way of pulling them apart. Despite their undeniable chemistry and Taylor's unwavering devotion, her love for Ridge is a recipe for heartbreak, one that has been simmering for years, filled with betrayal, miscommunication, and conflicting desires. Here's why Taylor's undying love for Ridge seems destined to end in pain. 1. Ridge's loyalty to Brooke. One of the most significant barriers standing between Taylor and Ridge has always been his deep-rooted loyalty to Brooke Logan. The history between Ridge and Brooke is rich with passion, tumult, and years of intricate drama, making their connection nearly impossible to break. Ridge has always been drawn back to Brooke, regardless of the emotional toll it takes on those around him. For Taylor, this is the first and most painful obstacle. She can pour all her heart into their relationship, but as long as Brooke remains a factor in Ridge's life, Taylor will always be living in the shadow of their on-again, off-again dynamic. Ridge's inability to fully commit to Taylor is deeply ingrained in his past with Brooke. Time and time again, viewers have watched as Ridge chooses Brooke over Taylor, whether it's due to history, guilt, or simply an unwillingness to face the reality of his fractured family. The constant comparison to Brooke leaves Taylor emotionally drained, never quite able to gain the full stability and love she craves from Ridge. She may believe she's found a love with Ridge that can transcend their past, but Ridge's lingering attachment to Brooke always leads to heartbreak. 2. Taylor's idealization of Ridge. Taylor's love for Ridge, while genuine, often verges on idealization. Having loved him for so many years, she's painted him as the ultimate romantic hero, believing that their destiny together is inevitable. However, idealizing someone can often lead to unrealistic expectations, and Taylor frequently overlooks the reality of Ridge's flaws. She wants him to be the perfect partner, and in doing so, she misses the cracks in their relationship. Ridge is not the idealized figure that Taylor imagines him to be. He's flawed, complicated, and often self-centered, unable to fully meet the needs of those who love him. Taylor's fixation on this idealized version of Ridge blinds her to his true nature, and when he ultimately falls short of her expectations, the resulting heartbreak is almost too much for her to bear. Ridge's refusal to make a clear decision between Taylor and Brooke leaves Taylor feeling unworthy and abandoned. Each time Ridge comes back to her, she believes it's a fresh start, only to be reminded that Ridge's true heart belongs to Brooke. Her willingness to forgive him, again and again, results in the inevitable cycle of hope and heartbreak. 3. Ridge's ambivalence and emotional distance. Taylor's love for Ridge is constantly challenged by his emotional ambivalence. Ridge has always been a man divided between two women, unable to fully embrace the one who stands before him. Despite their intense passion, Ridge has a tendency to keep his emotional distance. He's often torn between what he feels for Taylor and what he thinks he owes to Brooke. This lack of emotional availability leaves Taylor frustrated and emotionally starved. Ridge's inability to make a clear commitment causes Taylor to question her own worth. She may be ready to invest all of herself in their relationship, but Ridge's hesitations make it impossible for her to truly feel secure. It's heartbreaking to watch her put in the effort, only to be met with Ridge's emotional walls. Instead of nurturing their connection, Ridge's indecisiveness continues to drive a wedge between them, leaving Taylor with a sense of emptiness. 4. The impact of their children. Another complicating factor in Taylor and Ridge's relationship is their shared history with their children. Their kids, Steffi and Thomas, play a massive role in shaping the dynamics between them. Steffi has long been in competition with Brooke's daughter, Hope, and the tension between these two families has led to countless clashes. Ridge, being a father first, is often pulled between his loyalty to his children and his love for the women in his life. For Taylor, seeing Ridge constantly choosing Brooke's family over hers becomes an emotional burden. The rift between their children only reinforces Taylor's sense of isolation and abandonment. She wants to be a part of Ridge's family, but his children, particularly Steffi, have made it clear that they don't always embrace her. This divide between their families creates an emotional wedge, one that Ridge is unable to bridge. For Taylor, it feels like Ridge is always putting his children's needs before hers, which leads to resentment and heartbreak. 5. The repetition of history. Taylor and Ridge's relationship is steeped in history, and unfortunately, that history is one of repeating cycles. The constant on-again, off-again nature of their romance has led to emotional exhaustion for both characters. Despite their love for each other, their past has been littered with betrayals, misunderstandings, and missed opportunities. Ridge's repeated choices to walk away from Taylor, only to return when things with Brooke inevitably fall apart, leaves Taylor wondering if she is simply a backup plan for him. This repetitive nature of their relationship doesn't allow Taylor to fully heal from the previous heartbreaks. She's caught in an endless loop, always hoping that this time things will be different. Yet Ridge's inconsistency continues to erode her emotional stability. The longer the cycle persists, the more Taylor risks losing herself in her pursuit of a love that may never truly be hers. 6. The power of Brooke's hold on Ridge. As much as Taylor tries to move on from Ridge's ties to Brooke, the undeniable bond between the two remains a constant factor in her heartbreak. Ridge's deep connection to Brooke is more than just a romantic attachment.